Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. For this year I'm trying to be more active on this platform with tutorials, with videos where I teach you about my techniques that I'm using to shoot, to edit and to get certain looks. As you can see already, I got all my equipment lined up here. This episode is about what's in my bag. So let's start right off with my workhorse, with my main body that I'm using. It's the Canon EOS R5. I've been using this camera for half a year now, and I switched to the EOS R system about two and a half years ago when the EOS R was launched. I switched to mirrorless and ditched my 5D Mark IV because I got used to shooting with an electronic viewfinder. The sensor is amazing, dynamic range is great. 45 megapixels should give you enough flexibility for all your shots. Yeah, this camera is just an absolute dream. As a backup I use the EOS R. We are filming on this right now, so you won't see it on this video. You can see my main lens is attached. It's the 24-70 2.8 IS. This is a great lens. It covers most of the focal length that I use. It's from wide to kind of tele. The 2.8 aperture is good enough for most shoots, and with the image stabilizer you can shoot at night, even handheld. Of course I'm using more lenses than just one, but this one is always in my bag. And my second most used lens is the 70-200. It's also the new RF lens. It's super small, super light, so you can't really compare it to the old 70-200 2.8. It got image stabilization as well. It extends a bit, but that's okay. But it's just in this small package, and it's so powerful, sharp, and it's an amazing piece. I love using it. Telephotos compress the scene so you can get a really unique angle. I don't shoot so much with it, but I always carry it with me because I always regret if I leave it at home. Another lens that I really enjoy is the 50-1.2. It's a typical portrait focal length. It's quite natural to the human eye, so what you see right now is roughly the same, like in distance, proportions, what you get with a 50. The 1.2 aperture is crazy. Is it worth upgrading from a 1.4 to a 1.2? I would say yes, because the bokeh is so much better on this lens. And with this lens you can get great portraits, but also environmental portraits where a person stands in front of a landscape and you can blur out the landscapes just a tiny bit to give that image a sort of three-dimensional look. This lens is also one of the RF L lenses, so it's super sharp even at f1.2. A lens that I bought for my EF system back for the 5D Mark IV is the 100-400. I don't know the aperture, I think it's like a dark lens. It's 4.5 to 5.6, so yeah, you need good light to use this. I don't see myself often using it. It stays mostly out of my bag or my girlfriend takes it with her. It's just too heavy. If you compare it to the 70-200, this is like 1 kilo more. And yeah, I can live with 200 millimeters and then crop in. Last but not least, I also carry a super wide angle with me all the time. It's a 50mm 2.4 manual focus lens. I enjoy using this lens because it's cheap, it has good optics, and the manual focus isn't a problem at all because usually there's everything in focus on a wide angle. The main reason I bought this lens is the 2.4 aperture. It's faster compared to the standard zooms with 2.8. It allows you shooting night skies and the northern lights, for example, in a really quality way because you don't need to bump up the ISO that much. This lens is sharp from the widest aperture on, even in the corners. It has almost no distortion and it can be really handy in situations where the landscape is just so enormous that you can't capture it with a 24mm. So this was the main reason I bought this. Although I'm not using it that often, I always carry it with me. You're always on the secure side. So that's it for the lenses. This is my bag. Sometimes more or less, sometimes I only carry this lens or this lens. It depends on the shoot and where I'm going. Another thing I'm using frequently are filters. A filter that I use quite often is the TIFF Black Pro Mist. It creates like a hazy hazy shine around highlights or light sources. You can maybe see it in the back of me on the window. There's like a hazy glow around it that comes from the filter on this camera. I think it's an effect that you can't create in post-production. So I use this filter quite a lot on shots where there's a light source, a direct light source for the camera, and portraits. It's good for portraits because it makes the skin look softer without making it unsharp. It's really hard to explain unless you're shooting with it. You realize how good these filters are. Furthermore, I have a neutral density filter. It's a variable one. I use it for filming. And what you don't see on this table is my drone. It's a Mavic 2 Pro. I don't enjoy flying a drone too much, but of course you can get epic perspectives with it, no doubt. Something else I just got into using are Videolights. So I got this light with me. You can change the hue to whatever you want. And it gives you just maybe that tiny extra that you need if a scene is too dark. I haven't been using it that much, but I'm planning to shoot more with it. That gear has proven itself, especially the camera and the RF lenses are fantastic. I also have some other cameras that I shoot with. It's like more or less a fun thing, and I'm just getting them right now. So, and first one is the Instax. I think everybody knows them. It's a instant camera. Cool colors, quite bulky, but it's nice to have this instant memory. The other one is the camera from my girlfriend, and it's a Canon AE1. Shoots film. We have Kodak Gold in here. It's really nice. It's like a DSLR. Got a 51.8 on it. And the other cameras we haven't used it that much, to be honest. It's a super small one. Looks like this. I think it looks fancy. We have to try it soon, I think. It's a Minox. Don't know. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe to hopefully see more on this channel. I try my best.